on in a flash.
They played the mash.
They played the monster mash.
I'm Luke Summerhays.
I'm James J. Miles.
I'm James the Jester Stewart.
And I'm Andrew Rice.
You're listening to Monster Mash.
And in this week's episode, we are hunting the Chameleos.
Precious few sightings of this elder dragon have been recorded, leading to claims it can vanish into its environment like a chameleon, hence its name. Witnesses report that it can spew a fog-like breath, which seems to come out of nowhere.
Hence its name, no shit.
Also, it comes out of nowhere. Does it not come out of its mouth?
Maybe it farts out.
I'm pretty sure it comes out of its
No,
mouth.
the mist doesn't, because the whole area just suddenly goes mist, doesn't it?
Oh, right.
Yeah, you're thinking of the
He does
poison.
do like breath attacks and stuff.
Or the
like that.
tongue.
Easily could thingy the mist out of his mouth.
Hmm. But you never
Comes
see
out
him
his
do that.
pores like sweat. When you get him nervous, he just starts
That is
sweating fog.
intense ass
Fucking
sweating.
gaseous sweat.
Just fog everywhere. Can you imagine that if it happened to a real person?
Just walking around town and suddenly it's just a cloud around you.
I mean, that is a bit just like being on a train, like when it gets all fogged up and shit.
Doing a speech at like a wedding or something, and then just fog engulfs the bride.
Yeah, it doesn't often happen there, but like on trains, seriously, that shit does happen all the time.
I wonder if you like sweated on Venus. If it would just immediately turn to steam around you.
I assume that you would die. That's just my
Yeah.
little theory there.
So the Chameleos then.
I actually quite like this monster. He's
He's
like, definitely.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck off! You hate him. He's got a tongue.
No, like I know he's got a tongue, and I hate when he does the tongue. But I think he's a really interesting fight, even if he is a bit of a mishmash of like other monsters. Like he's got bits of the Gypsaurus in there, bits of, like the Iopre.
A very specific bit of the Volvidal.
Yes, but he's like as a mishmash, and the fact that he's got the whole chameleon invisibility thing. I think he's really cool. A really cool fight.
Yeah, and the invisibility works quite well as well. It's played nicely. It's not like what's the bird from Dark Souls?
The goes
Priscilla.
invisible.
Omri.
Priscilla.
Oh, I thought you meant like
Crossbreed
an
Priscilla,
actual
yeah.
bird.
Yeah. No, I meant
I think you had
bird
the
as in
bird like,
female.
I'm like, what? I thought you meant an actual like. I don't
bird
remember
bird?
I meant a
the
lassie.
bird in Dark Souls at all.
Yeah,
The
Priscilla
big
when she
throat
goes
that just
invisible.
drops
But
you off at the fucking undead asylum. When did you get to
I
fight
thought I
that?
was going to go with a joke by going for a woman, but no, that's genuinely what you meant.
But yeah, when she goes invisible, she leaves really obvious footprints.
Mhm.
Whereas Chameleos genuinely goes invisible and like slips away.
You still got to tell though, like the fact that your hunter reacts still when they're
Yeah.
running away, I think is a neat touch.
Yeah, and apparently if you... I mean, we didn't have cats with us then because there was 4 of us. But the cats continue to know where it is because they can still smell it.
Surely it'd be a bit of a
If
silly
you
bugger,
play as
surely
if you play as cat, will that allow you to see it?
That
all
would
the
have been
time?
that would have been interesting if like you could, no matter what happens there, like if you're a cat, like you just always see it. Change the fight.
If you are cat, not if you are a.
Because then you could get a good
cat.
like dynamic
That's
going.
right.
Like if someone goes like a prowler and you've got a bunch of hunters, like the cat could always keep a track of it and say whether or not it's left the area or not.
Maybe if you buy the Nintendo like smell headset, and you can smell where it is when you play as a cat. But they didn't know how to give it to you in visual.
To be fair, the invisibility is like one of his least frustrating attacks. I feel it's definitely that big old fucking tongue. That's the worst of his moves, in my opinion, at least.
Well, I obviously didn't play like Monster Hunter 2 or Freedom 2 or anything, but I've been reading about the Chameleos, and apparently his invisibility was much more annoying originally. Because he would just be invisible most of the time, you'd hardly ever be able to see him. Whereas now,
That's kind of a theme
Yeah.
with the rest of those games anyway.
Yeah.
They're kind of more annoying.
but now he has to have the mist, and he can't be invisible when he's attacking and stuff like that. So he's more like a Klingon bird of prey.
I think it's a
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that reference we all understand.
They have to uncloak to fire.
Is this an actual bird of prey or an actual bird?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
a woman in
They have to
space.
fire? What do birds do in
No,
fire?
a Klingon bird of prey is a spaceship.
No, this is getting a bit nuts at this point. Don't think I can handle
It was
this.
the Vulcans that had the cloaking technology.
Yeah, but then they gave it to the Klingons. Because they couldn't be bothered to make 2 types of spaceships, they just used the same model for both aliens. True facts.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you meant like the
The Vulcans,
fucking
yeah.
ones that you said.
I thought
Yeah,
that for
I
a
thought you
second
meant,
too, and I was like, oh, he's talking about the people who made the show.
Spaceships.
So
They've,
Chameleos.
they've definitely they've definitely toned down. I think then if they've changed the invisibility, they like toned down what made them really annoying. Then
Mm.
I think they could probably stand to do that for like the Kush, for example, because that wind is just bloody annoying. That whole fight that makes that a pain. Whereas the Chameleos,
let's
Yeah,
not
it makes
forget
it
that
so
we
you
also
need to
fight
have like
this
the
guy
wind
on low
resistance
rank.
like skill to like if you want not
No,
to be
because
annoyed by
poison's
it.
fine. But I mean, don't forget, guys, we are fighting this on low rank, so I'm pretty sure he gets much worse.
He does new moves like
even in high rank, yeah,
Like-
even in high rank, I never found it much of a problem.
later ranks he starts like the poison pools that he puts out. You can actually move them about, like the zone.
I'm sure he spends more time in visibility as well.
Even then, like I've never had that. I've never come up away from Chameleos Hunt and thought,
Hmm.
Jesus Christ, I'm glad that's over. I thought, good
Yeah.
hunt, boys.
But he's
good
he's
hunt.
not like tragic. I don't know. I think we're oversimplifying. But
Oh, we've not mentioned
Yeah,
either
well-
that you can actually throw smoke bombs as well to keep them visible.
I didn't know that.
Actually,
That's why I've not.
There's just
I think
reminded
this
of
was
it
a
there,
trend
'cause I was
with,
reading
think
the
of,
Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate description, which
yeah,
mentions
I've
it.
seen that
Oh.
there myself. I
Cheating.
think isn't that a trend of like the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimates? Is like they really like make the Elder Dragons just basically tell you their weakness. They don't do that for like the Kushala Daora. It's like, oh, use poison, by the way, that'll keep them down. And this one's like, use smoke bombs. It's like,
Well, it's funny you talk about
where's the mystique?
the Kush's weakness, because I didn't realise this until like I started researching for Chameleos. But the Kushala Daora, Teostra, and Chameleos were introduced as the three Elder Dragons in Monster Hunter 2. And they're meant to make sort of like a trinity, like Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle type thing. Because if you use Chameleos' armor, it's really effective against Kushala Daora. And if you use his armor, it's super effective against Teostra, and then Teostra is super effective against Chameleos.
That's cool.
Because the Chameleos armor gives you like extra poison damage, which obviously keeps Kush on the ground, and the Kush gives you extra ice damage against Teostra, and
Why
then
would the
Teostra gives
Chameleos
you
give
fire
you-
damage against the Chameleos.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yeah. Just a nice little, again, very video gamey touch that you don't always see in Monster Hunter. But I've never struggled that much with any of them, so I've never had to go back and come up with a big strategy. But maybe when you're playing on your
Like
own
we've
and at
fought
high
higher-
ING ranks, it's probably more of an issue.
Yeah, it's because we've not fought the higher tier versions of them, is why we haven't struggled.
I expect a G rank Chameleos is probably going to be poisoning you left, right, and centre.
Well, so we didn't even really do the high rank Chameleos. Like, I'm sure that he may be left unticked because I just don't think anyone ever really went for Chameleos stuff. So, yeah, could be a massive pain.
Holy hell! Have you seen the intro for the Chameleos in 4 Ultimate?
Well, yeah, whereas I appears right by the hunter.
No, it's worse than that. Gonna have to include this in the show notes, but if you check out the intro there, he actually tries and eats the hunter. You can see his fangs and his eyes are bulging and everything. It's terrifying.
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
He is a big old monster trying to eat a little man. Makes sense.
Yeah, but did they ever show the monsters trying to eat the hunters that vividly before? I know it's obviously something that they'd expect them to do, but Christ above,
I guess most of them just don't get that close to pulling it off.
If you're listening and want to check it out, it's at 58 seconds in the link that Luke will include in the show notes.
I thought you were about to read out the bloody YouTube URL then.
YouTube.com/.
http://www.
Doing a podcast long enough now, that makes excellent audio content. Oh wow, and he shoots the fog out of his mouth at the end of the video. Gee willikers. You were talking about the changes they made to the Chameleos since the older games. They actually changed a lot of them about him. One of the key things, I was reading this on the wiki here, is that you don't actually hear his battle theme before 4U. You didn't hear his battle theme until he went into rage mode, which is a neat touch. Kind of almost like a Kezu type
Oh yeah,
thing.
I was going to say that would have been pretty cool. Just made him more invisible and creepy.
Yeah, and then, but I like his battle theme. I said that in the hunt as well. It's got quite nice music, so I'm glad they included that. Glad they included that at all.
Yeah, jungly little theme. I like him overall. Actually, he's a really cool design. Apparently, his design is based more on a leaf-tailed gecko, rather than a chameleon, like the big
Obviously.
flat spiky
Mhm.
look. But then also the way he goes invisible, Jay said in the hunt, like a predator, and just
I think you said
Apart from like the curly end of his like tail, like his tail is kind of shaped like a leaf as well.
yeah.
Speaking of which, bloody hard to break, as I found it in the hunt.
Whereas when you're a hardcore hammer user, you can smash his horn, no props.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I helped on the impact
alright.
file of my charge blade there.
Yeah, you contributed a
It's
bit.
just coming to claim the glory. What is it? What does its name mean, Luke?
Right. Well,
You already covered that in the intro, didn't you?
it's a chameleon, right? But
Right.
it's Monster Hunter, so they love putting os on the end.
Os on the end of it, yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. Look, didn't know that.
Good fact, Luke. I think out of most of the monsters in the series, this is one that I kind of do hope gets the jump to world.
I think he'd
he'd
look
be a
really
really
good with
cool
nice
hunt.
graphics. The interesting,
Really, really cool hunt.
the funny thing about him as an Elder Dragon, he doesn't come across like he wants to pick a fight or do any damage.
I mean, clearly wants to fucking eat you.
No,
mate.
but he's-
Yeah,
That's
listen,
all you're
you're,
chatting
I'm,
about.
after the hunt, after the cast, sorry, I'm going to link you to that video.
I'll have a
because You need to feel the nightmares that
But for the most part, he just tries to go invisible and get away.
Yeah, no, but like, there's a whole kind of
pinches all
story
your
build
shit,
up
though.
before Ultimate where he's just going about like and stuff's like disappearing, like stock for like items and weapons and stuff like that are just like disappearing. So he just likes going around and like nicking stuff and being left alone.
So he is exactly what we all assumed people who voted invisibility in the Splatfest were going to be doing. Thieves and perverts.
big old. We know what you're doing, eh? Having a wee. I'm going to finish that sentence. What's next?
You can also think, can it?
Shovel Knight.
There you go. There's your intro for You Can Launch. That's the one we're hunting next week. So join us
Shovel
for
Knight.
that. Yep.
I feel like doing like a mock-up like drone
Oh,
and then
it's
like,
not
you
even
can
Canvas.
dress the shovel now.
So once you cut all that shit there, Luke, where can they find us?
They can find us on Twitter at Monster Mash Pod. We're on Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, all your podcasting apps. Just search for Monster Mash Podcast. Please do rate and review, like and subscribe, tell all your friends. Like, we do this for funsies anyway, but it would be lovely to know that there are people out there listening.
Keeps us going.
No, it doesn't. We still do it anyway.
Keeps
so-
Andy fed. This is how he gets paid. He's not doing well. You can hear it in his voice. Well, until then, thank you ever so much for listening.
See ya! Actually, I've just poured myself a fucking glass of head, so I'm gonna have to pour it again.
Right, what are we fighting here? I do have no idea what we're up to.
Chameleos. Oh fuck! I never brought antidotes. Guess who's taking the ones from the box?
Oh, piss
Sorry,
you, you
boys.
prick!
Oh.
I ain't got any of those either.
Hey,
No, it's
daylight
gonna be-
robbery.
I brought a
It's
couple.
going to be crazy because we're playing.
Boo!
Obviously, the game's Japanese. we're not going to know what he steals off us if he does
Oh, right.
without checking our item box.
Look, it's always going to be your mega potions. Just treat it like that. Mega potions are what you're going to lose. Did you bring ancient pow potions, life powder? Take those two. He's big thief. Oh, I forgot there's another tongue monster in it, a big prick.
No, I've thought this guy even less than Teostra.
Really?
I fought this guy in single
I'm
player a
surprised
couple
about
times.
that. Yeah, we've done Chameleos a couple times, I thought.
Maybe he didn't without me, but he's pretty funky looking.
That is probably a good
Oh
idea.
my god, I'm bouncing everywhere.
Launched everywhere.
Does anyone have blue sharpness at all? Because otherwise,
No.
you are
I do,
fine.
because I've got to say it's US weapon.
Oh fuck! He stole. What did he steal? Branch the kanji. He stole a mega potion. I knew he would. What a prick! This guy's got a really nice battle theme. In fact.
Someone's mountain though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, that as well. Yeah, but he doesn't do that as much anymore.
Oh, I forgot you can move it though. The big prick. You're really abusive to the Chameleos tonight. Calling him.
Yeah, well, we know you don't like tongues.
Yeah, look at it. It's minging. Look at.
I've heard that from your girlfriends.
Poor all 0 of them. That's not true. I said it for comedic effect.
Was that? That's not true. I do have had girlfriends. Or no, that's not true. I do look sexy.
No, I said that's not true. I said that for comedic effect. But what, Andy?
All of it is true.
You do think it's dirty and you don't give head. That's what I saw written on the bathroom walls. J Moyles does not reciprocate.
What, of the travel lodge?
I was gonna say, weren't you in the travel lodge year 1? So, did you write it?
He definitely did.
Yeah, I sucked Jay off and I never got anything for it.
Did you forget why we stopped recording after 9 o'clock? That just reminded me.
I haven't even drank any beer yet, I've just poured it.
No, I've just been finishing late again, as always. Oh, get away! Oh,
And that's not what I've heard on the bathroom walls.
What's that?
Fucking hell. Oh, fuck you, you cunt.
What did he steal?
It's gas.
Mega potion. Yeah, he took another one of mine. What a prick. Does he,
Hasn't had shit from me. He won't put his head on the floor so I can hit it.
Oh, guess what he took? Guess what he fucking took?
Mega
Bloody
potion.
max potion.
Oi!
What the fuck are you
Why are
doing
you bringing
carrying
max
max
potions at
Just
this
in
low
case,
rank?
man. Just in case.
Yeah,
I
slow
don't
rank.
have max health, mate.
Fucking hell. I don't even
like-
have max health at the fucking start of the hunt. No, so I don't even have max health at the start of the hunt, let alone halfway bloody through.
Oh, I'm stuck in the fucking wing snow.
I think we broke his one.
Just keep trying to get the tail.
Ah, fuck.
No, I'm talking absolute bollocks.
Yes, you
Oh,
were.
maybe.
You were definitely chatting bollocks.
No, but he can't go invisible anymore.
Yeah, his visibility is.
Yeah, his horn is
fair
broken.
enough.
Well, Jay didn't know that was a thing.
Save it for the cast. What we're gonna
Hammer
talk about?
boy.
How much you hate giving head? Just solid 15 minutes of it?
What? No, let's stop this now. I'll
You
think
know
I'll.
it's going to smear your reputation. So-
Jay doesn't believe in the female orgasm. Thinks it's a myth. Perpetuated by
I was gonna
feminists.
say by Cosmopolitan, but that'll do. Finish Jessica Jones, Andy. Thought you'd like to
Without
know.
giving her head.
For fuck's sake. Trying to have a reasonable conversation here.
Should know by now trying to change the conversation like this doesn't work.
No. I don't know.
It's good, isn't it? It's good.
How did we not get a mount of that? We all jumped on.
I didn't.
Well, yeah, that's why then, isn't it? Fucking Andy.
It's your fault, Andy.
Not doing his bit.
I was already doing a bit of fight, alright?
Bit of fate!
Yeah, bit of fight.
Andy's doing a fight. Andy's doing a fight. Everyone shut up because Andy's doing a fight.
He's dead. Now we'll never.
Ooh, just in time. I was about to waste my antidote.
Didn't cut his tail off though, did you, fucking prick?
Because you didn't help me.
Oh, look, he's tongue.
Oh, look at his tongue.
Oh.
Sell that ball gun that we just got. No?
I thought you were doing like Coronation Street. Then.